Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are tackling a really disturbing true crime puzzle, the enduring mystery of the Jamison family.
It's a case that just, well, it defies easy answers, doesn't it? Every clue seems to contradict the last one.
Absolutely. We're talking about Bobby Jamison, his wife Sherilynn, and their little 6-year-old daughter Madyson. They vanished around October 8th, 2009 from near Eufaula, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and our mission here really is to dig into all the sources, the abandoned truck, what was in it, that unsettling video, the discovery years later.
And try to figure out why, even after the remains were found, we still have absolutely no idea how they died.
Precisely. It's the definition of an unsolved mystery.
Okay, so let's set the scene. October 2009. The family was apparently looking at buying some land, right? Like a 40-acre plot.
That's the story, yeah. Near Red Oak, which is about 30 miles or so from their home in Eufaula. That's what supposedly brought them out to that pretty remote part of Latimer County.
And somewhere out there, they just vanished.
And then, a few days later, the first big piece of the puzzle surfaces. Their pickup truck is found abandoned near Quinta.
Right, and the truck itself, I mean, that's where things immediately get strange. It wasn't just an empty vehicle.
Not at all. That scene inside the truck is kind of the central mystery, in a way.
First off, their dog, Maisie, was still inside, alive.
Alive, yeah, but very malnourished. Which suggests, maybe they hadn't been gone that long when the truck was found. A few days, perhaps.
So what they left behind, that's the baffling part.
Everything important, basically.
Right.
Wallets, IDs, cell phones, even their GPS.
Things you'd, take with you if you were leaving for good, or even just going for a long hike. It feels like they expected to be right back.
It really does. But then there's the cash.
Yes. About $32,000. Just sitting there in the truck.
$32,000. And sources are clear, the Jamisons weren't known for carrying that kind of money around. Not like that.
So it immediately makes you think, okay, this isn't just a family getting lost on a hike. What was that money for?
Exactly. It feels like maybe a transaction, but if it was a deal, like a drug deal, as some have speculated, why leave the money and the dog and your phones behind?
And we'll get to what was missing. But first, there's that video footage from their home.
Oh, the surveillance video? Yeah, that adds another layer of just unease. It's from the day they left.
What does it show?
It shows Bobby and Sherilynn packing the truck, but they're doing it in this really weird way. Silent, methodical.
Like robots.
Sort of, yeah. People who saw it described it as trance-like or compulsive, just back and forth, no talking, no interaction, almost like they were, I don't know, under duress or something.
That's incredibly creepy, just picturing it. And does the video show anything else significant?
It does. It shows Sherilynn putting a brown briefcase into the truck.
Wait, a briefcase?
Right. But here's the thing. When they found the truck days later...
Let me guess. The briefcase wasn't there.
Nope. The $32,000 was there. The dog, the IDs, the phones, but no brown briefcase. And also missing was Sherilynn's handgun. Sources confirm she owned one.
Okay, wait. So they leave the cash, the phones, the IDs, but they take a briefcase and a handgun.
Makes no sense, does it? If you're running from danger, you take the money, maybe the gun. If you're meeting someone for a deal, maybe you take the briefcase and the gun, but why leave the cash?
It throws every simple theory out the window right from the start. It's like their actions were completely contradictory.
Or driven by something really complex. Maybe irrational fear, maybe a plan that went terribly, terribly wrong almost immediately.
So the case goes cold. For years, people imagine all sorts of things. They fake their deaths, witness protection, murder-suicide.
All the usual speculation when people vanish. But then, November 2013, over 4 years later...
Hunter's right. They stumbled upon remains.
Skeletal remains, yeah. 2 adults, 1 child, in a remote, wooded area of Latimer County.
And the location is key here.
Absolutely critical. The remains were found less than 3 miles from where that pickup truck was abandoned.
3 miles. So they didn't wander far at all. Whatever happened very close to the truck relatively soon after they left it.
It seems that way. They weren't lost deep in the wilderness for days. The end came quickly and nearby.
And forensic testing confirmed it was them.
Yes, by July 2014, it was confirmed. Anthropological forensic pathology. It was the Jamisons.
Yeah, the big question. How did they die?
And that's the roadblock. The bodies were so decomposed after 4 years out in the elements, the medical examiner couldn't determine a cause of death.
No signs of trauma they could find, no toxicology possible, nothing.
Nothing definitive. So the how remains a complete blank. We know who, we know where they ended up, roughly when they disappeared, but not how they died.
Which means everything hinges on the circumstances, the context, the theories.
Exactly. With no forensic answers, you're forced back to looking at their lives, the weirdness around the disappearance, and that leads to a few main theories.
Okay, let's unpack those. Theory 1, trouble with family. There was that lawsuit, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. A really bitter one between Bobby and his father, Bob Dean Jamison. This was going on right before they disappeared.
And the accusations were serious.
Extremely serious. Bobby claimed his dad had threatened the family. He even alleged his father hit him with a vehicle back in 2008. And he accused his father of being involved with meth, with crime.
Wow. Okay, so that sounds like a pretty strong potential motive for, well, for something bad to happen. Threats, violence, maybe drugs involved.
You'd think so, right? It seems like an obvious avenue for investigators.
But the police didn't stick with that theory. Our sources say they didn't ultimately believe the father was involved. Why not?
It's not entirely clear why they moved away from it, but it seems like while the conflict was real, they couldn't physically connect the father to the actual disappearance or the location. Maybe an alibi, maybe lack of evidence tying him there. The focus seemed to shift pretty heavily onto the cash and the couple's behavior.
Okay, so that leads us to Theory B drugs, the $32,000.
Right. That amount of cash, the remote location, it screams drug deal, doesn't it?
It does. Either they were going to buy something or maybe pay someone off.
And if you connect that to the trance-like video, maybe they were terrified. Maybe they were being forced somehow, going to meet someone dangerous.
But again, we hit the same wall. If it was a drug meeting gone bad, like an execution, why leave the $32,000 behind? Killers usually take the money, right?
Usually, yeah. Unless the motive wasn't robbery. Unless it was about sending a message or revenge or silencing them for some reason, something specific to them.
Which, without knowing the cause of death, is just speculation.
Pure speculation. And it's why the lack of forensic evidence is just crippling for this case.
Okay, so that leaves the third main theory. And this one is, well, it's out there.
It really is. The occult and paranormal angle.
This came from their pastor.
Yeah, Pastor Gary Brandon. Apparently, Bobby and Sherilynn had both told him separately that they were seeing spirits in their house, that they felt their home was haunted.
Spirits, okay.
And Bobby also supposedly mentioned reading the Satanic Bible.
Whoa. Okay, so you have this family possibly dealing with financial stress, definitely involved in a bitter family dispute with allegations of crime,
Carrying a huge amount of cash, acting strangely on video before they leave.
and also telling their pastor they're seeing spirits and reading occult books.
It's an impossible mix, isn't it? How do you weave all that together into one coherent story? The drug theory doesn't explain the spirits. The spirit theory doesn't explain the cash or the lawsuit details.
So what are we left with? Just confusion?
Pretty much. We're left relying entirely on these circumstantial pieces. And you have to decide, which piece do you give the most weight? The money, the video, the family history, the paranormal claims.
And that's really why this case is so compelling, I think. It shows you what happens when the science, the forensics, hits a dead end because of time and decay.
Exactly. All you have left are the messy, contradictory details of human lives and behavior.
We know they left the truck. We know they didn't go far less than 3 miles. It seems like their fate was sealed very, very quickly after they got out of that vehicle.
That short distance is haunting. Whatever happened, happened right there, almost immediately.
And looking back at that silent, methodical packing on the video, it almost feels like they knew something was coming. Like they were just going for a casual look at some land.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? Like whatever awaited them, whether it was external danger or something internal, some delusion or decision, was already casting a shadow before they even left the house.
So the final thought, I guess, that short walk, less than 3 miles.
Okay.
Were they walking to something specific, a meeting? Or are they walking away from the truck, the money, their old lives, into some kind of shared delusion or a self-inflicted end, driven by those fears, those spirits they mentioned?
We just don't know. Did the danger come from outside or did it come from within the family unit itself? Leaving the cash, taking the gun and briefcase, stopping so close to the road. It's a profound and deeply frustrating mystery.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the truly baffling Jamison family case. It's certainly one that leaves you thinking.